having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance. Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. We're good for you.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We're Cayman 27, Cayman Informed.
Where's your mommy?
At the gym. You know it's her birthday, right?
Come, let's go quick.
At Countryside, we have everything you need. Stay in shape at Universal Fitness Gym. Get your natural products at Hero Fair. Drop off your dry cleaning at Puritan Cleaners. Check out the latest phones at Flow. Pick up your supplements at GNC. And browse the best wine selection at Jake Scott. Countryside, everything you need and more.
Have you heard? They have new daily meal deals at Popeyes. A different meal with side every day of the week for the same price of just $3.99. Monday is chicken soup with rice. Tuesday for the chicken bowl. 2 tenders on Wednesday. A loaded chicken wrap on Thursday. It's all about that shrimp on Friday. Chicken nuggets to start the weekend. And the mixed 2-piece to finish.
The new daily meal deals from Popeyes. A different meal every day, served with the world famous best dressed chicken for only $3.99. Only at Popeyes, Louisiana Kitchen on Eastern Avenue.
Hi, I'm Caroline Hobby, host of Nashville Insider, where we bring you the latest in country music news and happenings. Join us as we interview your favorite artists and go behind the scenes of country music's hottest events. Watch Nashville Insider right here on Cayman 27.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We're Cayman 27, Cayman Informed.
Coming up next, small business owners feel the pinch as the Airports Authority announces its new retail outlets at the Owen Roberts International Airport.
A man caught chasing a woman while performing a lewd act is off the streets of Cayman.
And Cayman and the FCO continue to seek common ground in the debate over Cayman's future with the UK.
Week 2 of the Under-19 basketball leagues in the books, plus a little bit of rugby and some darts. Lots coming up in sports.
And we've got a gorgeous forecast out there, especially if you like gusty winds. I'll fill you in on the details a little later.
Cayman 27 News is coming up next.
Is back. Sign up for the Sports Pack today and fuel your passion for football. Sports is life, only on Flow.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly. You want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean. Banking that fits your life.
Champion House Restaurant, serving Cayman for over 30 years. Start your day off right with our breakfast, fruits, pastries, hot cereals, entree, and so much more. Stop by for lunch. Our buffet offers salad, soup, entrees, and desserts. Check out our website for details on our new dinner menu. And don't forget about catering. We can customize any menu to suit your needs. Champion House Restaurant, where the islanders dine.
You're watching Cayman 27 News, Cayman Informed. Brought to you by Foster's Food Fair. At Foster's Food Fair, we care. Flow,
Good evening, I'm Kafara Augustin.
And I am Kevin Morales. Thank you for tuning in. The president of Cayman's Small Business Association hits out at the bidding process that has seen big brands dominate the spots up for grabs in the Owen Roberts International Airport Departures Hall.
Yesterday, the CIAA revealed exactly who the successful bidders were. Cayman 27's Carolyn James reports on the fallout.
The Cayman Islands Airport Authority says that work has already begun in kitting out the new concessions here at Owen Roberts International Airport. They say they'll be opening up in phases over the coming months. But when you look at a list of the successful bidders, Subway, Wendy's, Tortuga Rum Company, Kirk Freeport, they're all the big names. And now the president of the Cayman Islands Small Business Association has hit out. She says small businesses were disadvantaged from stage 1 of the application process.
I don't see any small businesses on there, and I believe the reason is the process was so arduous. It was so bureaucratic. It was over 70 pages of application forms that you had to submit. You had to get audited books, and all of that is costs that, small businesses didn't have to begin with.
So exactly who were the companies with the manpower, time and money to win the bids? In the food court, Wendy's, Subway, Island Taste and the Brew Hut earned the concession spots, while the successful retail outlets were Kirk Freeport, Last Chance Island Souvenirs, Bodden Freeport, Tortuga Rum Company, Jake Scott, Island Jewelers and Churchill Cigars. Miss Dawn McLean-Brady also said small businesses could not have been expected to stump up the cash outright to fit out their concessions.
That's costs that you have to come up with out front. So the whole process was a little arduous for small business, and all we were asking for is a little more concessions, a little more discussion.
So what's the big deal? Well, research found 7 out of 10 people passing through an international airport generally make a duty-free purchase. Last year, the total value of global duty-free and travel retail sales was $68.6 billion US. That's a year-on-year increase of 8.1%. This is due to passenger numbers being up in general, a rise of 8.4% in 2017. Unsurprisingly, Cayman companies want a slice of the action, and Miss McLean-Brady is unhappy those opportunities won't go to the mom-and-pop shops she represents.
We would have liked more dialogue from the very beginning, but it is what it is, and we're hoping that, the government will see that our concerns were legit because there's no small businesses here.
Caroline James, Cayman 27.
The CIAA has in the past defended what they call a, quote, fair and transparent bidding and evaluating process to make the best decisions possible.
A 28-year-old Georgetown resident, Leandro Solomon, has been remanded into custody. Mr. Solomon appeared in summary court today charged with indecent exposure and indecent assault in relation to an incident on Tuesday. He's the man charged in connection with the viral video posted this week showing a woman walking along South Church Street being followed by a man who later indecently exposes himself to her. Police say the man in the video is Mr. Solomon. He's expected back in court next week. One UK legislator remarked this week that it seems Cayman is set for a collision course with the British government.
And judging by written submissions from the Foreign and Commonwealth Office and the Cayman Islands government, he may be right. Cayman 27's Reshma Raghunath has the story.
Differing views on the effectiveness of the UK Overseas Territories relationship made its way to the UK Foreign Affairs Committee this week through written submissions. On one hand, the Foreign and Commonwealth Office says the current constitutional balance of powers between Britain and her territories is working. But in Cayman's eyes, that's not the case. In fact, according to Cayman's submission, the modernization of the constitutional agreements are lacking. The root of the difference centers around Cayman's position on the sanctions and anti-money laundering law. It's a point raised at this week's committee hearing, where legislators questioned Cayman's stance on carrying out the mandate of that law to create public beneficial ownership registries. Cayman is challenging the legality of the UK Parliament to make them do so.
You are on a collision course with the British government. I can say we continue to have constructive conversations with the UK government about the legislation and the overall relationship between the UK and the Cayman Islands.
Cayman has maintained its position that constitutional changes are needed to ensure the UK Parliament does not repeat what has happened with the sanctions and anti-money laundering law. While the FCO acknowledged this, it also stated its position. We believe the current balance of powers is broadly the right one. Reshma Raghunath, Cayman 27.
We will have links on our website to both submissions. That's cayman27.ky.
Cayman National Corporation calls a special general meeting that's to be held on November 7th. The meeting will help make more changes to the bank's articles. Now, the aim of the changes is to move further along the process to allow Republic Bank's buyover of majority shares in the local group. The new meeting is being called to complete that transaction because, as CNC termed it, an administrative oversight. So far, Republic Bank has acquired more than 54% of CNC. The Barbados-based bank is now aiming to buy 74.99% of CNC.
2 people escaped injury after a collision on North Sound Road yesterday.
Police say shortly after 5:20 p.m., officers responded to a report of a traffic collision on North Sound Road at the intersection with Compass Drive. It involved a motorcycle and a Jaguar. Now, the collision caused some delays to motorists, but no injuries were reported. All right, Joe Avery will be in a little bit later in the show with our check on weather. It was a beautiful day today. Hopefully we can expect more sunshine throughout the weekend.
But I want to go to the beach on Sunday, so I'm hoping
that's
on
what
it.
you and I like, but then there's some people out there, like my wife is, when it rains, she's like, this is wonderful, right? We get to stay in and do family stuff, which is cool. Our plants, our trees get some water, right? So it's all good. So I guess it's kind of a win-win, right?
Well, it's a win-win.
It's all about your perspective.
Either way.
Joe will be back a little bit later in the show to tell us what we can expect. Climate change is driving a new travel phenomenon known as last chance tourism. It's being named the top travel trend of 2018.
Last chance tourism is when visitors seek out vanishing lands or seascapes for a chance to experience them before they disappear.
So could Cayman one day join the list of these last chance destinations? That's what Cayman 27's Joe Avery explores.
The statues of Easter Island, the Great Barrier Reef, and Lebanon's Cedar Forest. Just 3 of the dozens of UNESCO World Heritage Sites threatened by the accelerating impacts of climate change. The rush to visit these sites before they disappear has ignited a new travel trend, last chance tourism.
The tourism section, I believe, is quite interesting for small islands and for Caribbean islands in particular.
Former National Conservation Council Climate Change Committee Chair Lisa Hurlston-McKenzie says Chapter 3 of this month's extraordinary report from the International Panel on Climate Change makes an alarming prediction for the region's coral reefs.
So with the projection of between 70 to 90% of coral reefs expected to meet a dire situation or maybe even a dire end under a 1.5 degree Celsius rise versus a 2 degrees Celsius rise, which may see 99% of coral mortality or at least morbidity, then you have to think closer to home.
Ms. Hurlston-McKenzie points out that a large portion of Cayman's tourism GDP depends on dive and coastal tourism.
Are we going to be one of those countries that is put on this last chance tourism list? Let's hope not.
She says other destinations such as Venice are already seeing the impacts of climate change and becoming a magnet for last chance tourists.
As they have frequent flooding in Venice where you have to walk on boardwalks just to see, some of the treasures that are there.
While Cayman may be powerless to single-handedly halt rising sea surface temperatures and sea level rise, Ms. Hurlston-McKenzie says there are variables within our control.
Like not stressing our reefs from overfishing, overdiving, pollution, coastal development, etc. Those are the things that we can control and allow the reefs to be more resilient.
Joe Avery, Cayman 27.
Critics of the last chance tourism trend say the phenomenon could be doing more harm than good.
They argue the increasing numbers of tourists actually accelerates the degradation of these already fragile areas. And coming up right after this break, police search for answers after a fire in Northward last week.
Tourism Minister Moses Kirkconnell says the Autumn Festival is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to domestic tourism.
And environmental leaders give their thoughts on Cayman's sargassum problems as it begins to affect marine life. Those stories and more coming up right after this.
Caymanian owned and operated since 1967. Paramount Carpets is a full-service operation beginning with material selection to the installation of finished products, as well as providing maintenance, service, and takes great pride in the quality of their work, making every effort to exceed customer expectations. Contact us today at 345-949-5000 or visit us at 317 Industrial Park, North Sound Road. Paramount Carpets. We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor.
Prison officials continue to investigate the cause of a fire at Northwood Prison last week, as well as the situation surrounding the incident. It happened on Thursday when an inmate lit a small fire within his cell. The fire was quickly extinguished by prison staff. The prisoner was treated for smoke inhalation. And today, a Government Information Services spokesperson said the fire services has conducted an investigation to establish the cause of the fire and internal prison service review that followed it. However, details on the fire services findings have not been released. The GIS spokesperson says police investigation is also ongoing. Full flights and sold-out rooms. That's music to Tourism Minister Moses Kirkconnell's ears. This after a successful weekend of culture and heritage. The minister pointed to the Brack Heritage Autumn Festival as a magnet for domestic tourism. He says this weekend's festival saw several transplanted Brackers, as well as those with strong Brack ties, come home for the festivities.
Domestic tourism, friends and family, bringing them home. We have been striving for this for a couple years well now. You can see that it continues to grow. You can see what it does on those weekends, and we have quite a few of these during the year.
He says the ministry targets specific weekends to host these types of events and looks for synergies like this year's partnership with the Celebrate Cayman Coat of Arms celebration.
Environment leaders say they're worried about the ecological impact sargassum is having on local wildlife, in particular Cayman's turtles.
Sargassum continues to pose a challenge locally, and Department of Environment Deputy Director Tim Austin says as the seaweed continues to roll in, it's making life difficult for turtles.
The sargassum bleaching has been quite a problem for our turtles, and any heavy equipment, you run the risk of impacting those nests. So we set up the task force to try to streamline the process to help people that need to act quickly do that.
Now a local task force has been established to find ways to address Cayman's sargassum problem.
Jordan Armani is going to join us with a check on sports, otherwise known as deportes.
Yeah, some deportes
to our Spanish-speaking viewers.
Nice.
Are you super pumped about the Brewers?
You didn't have to bring it up.
I'm more pumped than probably Blue Jays fans are. About their team's prospects this year.
Big game tonight. Broncos, Cardinals. Who you got?
Probably the Broncos because the Cardinals are awful.
Yeah, well, two worst rushing defenses in the league. We're also going to take a peek at our Cayman 27 Pick'ems Challenge. Kev, you're doing sort of good. Here we go, under 19 basketball. Perhaps a future Kawhi Leonard. Raptors won yesterday. Or a future LeBron James. Cavs lost to the Raptors. U19 basketball coming up.
Let Elite Marble and Granite bring the charm of Italy to your home. Made from only the best materials. Santa Margherita Quartz is handcrafted at a state-of-the-art facility located in Italy and then journeys across the ocean to Elite Marble and Granite, who is the exclusive distributor in the Caribbean. Elegant and resistant, Santa Margherita Quartz products offer a large choice of colors, textures, and exclusive finishes. Call 945-9028 or visit us online at elite.ky. Elite Marble and Granite, where perfection costs less.
Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited are professional, independent insurance brokers established in 1988. We are a wholly Caymanian-owned insurance broker with a wealth of knowledge in the local and international insurance market. Our professional team service clients with a range of insurance products, including motor, home, health, contractors, marine, and business insurance, among others. Contact us at 949-0579 or email us at service@bogleins.com.
We're not just the most reliable energy service in the Caribbean. Whether it's for your entertainment, lighting a path to your future, or making sure that you and your family are secure. We're there for you when it matters most. Your safety and our reliability are our top priority. We are committed to remaining the #1 utility service in the Caribbean. We are CUC.
27 Sports is brought to you by Elite Marble and Granite, where perfection costs less.
Welcome back, Cayman. We start with Week 2 of the Cayman Islands Basketball Association Under-19 League. Week 2's in the books, and our game of the week, it's the Thrashers taking on the CI Hoopsters. Let's take a look at the action. Early on, Hoopsters, Antoine McLaughlin, crossover and drive. Beautiful finish by McLaughlin. Hoopsters looking good. Thrashers on the fast break. Jahiel Henry gathers. Puts it off the glass. Fast-paced action here, folks. Later on, more Thrashers. Shot goes up. Angel Guerrero says, thanks, I'll take that rebound. He lays it in. Thrashers looking good. Hoopsters, Amar Christian. Splash from distant. Nice shot there. Here come the Hoopsters again on the fast break. Nathaniel Anderson, he lays it up. But the Thrashers would respond. Guerrero, fast break. He finds Micah O'Garo, hooping the harm, and one counted. Thrashers win 44-27. Here's O'Garo on the victory.
We played hard defense. We pressed the ball. We didn't give them any open shots. We tried our hardest on defense and tried to execute the most on offense.
All right, let's take a look at the rest of the games from Week 2. Women's action. Naomi Hunter's 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 10 steals rather. Nice job there. Fearless Edge Courage, 40-39, while Jasmine Martin's 32 points helped the Spirit defeat Clinton Hunter 66-11. Wow. Big game from Onisha Kayaso, the 2018 Women's Player of the Week. She helped Dream defeat Courage 54-37. And Deontay Andrews, 21 points and 16 rebounds to go with 5 steals, helped the Seoul Blazers defeat the Hawks 63-58. Week 3 Under-19 basketball action continues this Saturday at the John Gray Gymnasium starting at 2:30 p.m. All right, switching gears, Cayman Touch Rugby's Association returned from the United States Touch Rugby Nationals this past weekend as 4 teams hit the pitch, including a junior team for the first time. How did they do? Well, Cayman's juniors advanced all the way to the finals, playing the team from Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Now, earlier in the competition, Cayman lost 7-1 to Phoenix. In the rematch in the finals, Cayman lost 10-7 to win silver, but a definite improvement from the tournament. Now, in total, 3 teams participated in the junior division. How about the men? They finished 3rd overall out of 9 teams. Cayman's men only loss came against the Portland Hunters 11-5 and 10-5 to the LA Royals, who were now Cayman's men were finalists last year. How about let's take a look at the women's squad. They finished 5th out of 6th place in a tough division. They won 2 matches, both against Canada. Finally, the mixed touch rugby team came 4th overall out of 6 teams. The team made the finals in 2017. All right, switching gears, round 7 of the Cayman Islands Dart Association Premier League is in the books with just 2 more rounds to go. This was a week of firsts, making the fight for the playoffs very interesting. This week in the Cayman Islands Dart Association Premier League, Richard Campbell maintained his undefeated streak on the season with a 6-4 win over the Hammer Hank Ebanks. Alizon Agcon, however, shares that lead atop the table with a 6-3 win over Cruz Smith. Smith was playing double duty in round 7, but it was the Bull Eddie Ballantyne getting his first win of the season, 6-1. In the Bulls' second game of the week, he'd score his 2nd win of the season in a 6-2 win over the Stinger Cliff Weeks. In another week of first, Hot Rod Rodan Asunzian finally found the win column, downing the destroyer Neville Parker, who still searches for his first win of the season on the brink of elimination with just 2 weeks to go. This is the Cayman Islands Dart Association Premier League, brought to you by Elite Marble Granite. And round 8 of the CETA Premier League continues at the Attic on 7 Mile Beach starting Wednesday at 8 p.m. All right, Joe's got your weather next. Stick around.
A Attention viewers of Cayman 27, the Truth of God television program with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ can now be seen exclusively in the Cayman Islands on this channel every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching and teachings of Pastor Jennings as he speaks the truth from God's Holy Bible. Tune in every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. for the 1-hour broadcast of the Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings exclusively on Cayman 27. Cayman Informed.
We believe that every life matters and that we are all connected. One community, one people. We believe in compassion to give dignity to those that society has let down. We strive to conquer fear, and we believe that the power to heal is a gift. This is who we are. This is what we believe. Holy Cross.
A tropical storm watch has been upgraded to a warning.
Hey, I've been tracking the storm, and it's looking really dangerous.
Yeah.
You're in a new place. You gotta prepare. No, put that down. You need canned goods, not canned
I get it.
soda and
yes,
water.
Sis.
You need plenty
water.
of water.
All right, water. Oh, God. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to get ready for this.
Is it your first time?
Yes.
Do you need a hurricane buddy?
Please.
All right, come on. I prefer bigger bottles.
Kind of shame it took a hurricane for us to finally hang out.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, sis, kind of bad time.
Hey, good news. The hurricane warning's been lifted. I saw online the storm has changed direction.
Oh, so I guess you get to go back to your place now.
Where are you? That's not your apartment.
Please pick the flowers.
Bye, neighbor.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. The green iguana call doesn't start for another couple of weeks here at the end of the month, but this Cayman racer snake is already getting involved. He's out there trying to take one of those green $5 bills off of Cayman's island and into his belly. Good for him getting a meal. It's Thursday. I'm hungry, thinking about going home. But first, the weather right here. We had a little showers in the area today. I had a little drip drop myself in the afternoon hours right here in Camana Bay. Nothing too heavy, though. You could have skirted by it without an umbrella. But hey, I listened to the forecast, so I was lucky and I had one with me. But we're turning our attention tomorrow now. The rest of the night, 30% chance of showers, maybe a little bit of thunder, not a high chance of that. But Friday, let's see what we're talking about right here. We're thinking early morning showers, maybe some thunder with that. I'm also a little bit skeptical about the thunder. It's kind of been in the forecast lingering as a possibility for a while, yet hasn't quite materialized. The big story is going to be the gusts, 10 to 15 knot winds, east to northeast. That means 4 to 6 foot seas. Small craft are going to have to exercise caution on open water for the next several days here. Here is that 7-day outlook right there. Like I was telling you about, 30% chance of showers for the rest of tonight and tomorrow. Weather paper says that is pretty much good until about Monday or so, and then at which time we'll reevaluate the forecast. But the big story is going to be the winds, the gustiness. You're going to see those 15 to 20 knot winds, and it's going to get even a little windier as of Saturday and Sunday right there. The big gusts during the daytime. Obviously, that could kick up the white caps out there, and you don't want to be out in a small boat in those. You might hurt your back, guys, from the bouncing up and down that you get into out there on the water. Anyway, but it's going to be a gorgeous weekend. You know you're going to have a lot of sunshine out there. Don't let a 30% chance of rain. That's just 3 in 10, guys. That's long odds. Don't let that dissuade you from getting out to the beach, getting your toes in the sand, maybe playing a little tennis, and kind of enjoying the breeze there, because it's been, one would say, dreadfully hot for a while, and it is kind of getting into that cool kind of fall temperatures, at least cool for the Cayman Islands. Anyway, I've got something cool. It's a weather pick of the day right here. When you've got a sunset so good you just got to pull over and take that picture, yep, that's what Claire did right there. Anyway, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Joe. Well, Kevin, we might be having some competition soon.
Good. Good, right? Because that means we got to raise our game a little bit.
We do.
For these youngins coming through.
Exactly. Well, Cayman 27 went back to school yesterday to meet the island's next generation of journalists.
Now, this was all part of the Clifton Hunter High School Inspire Day, where Cayman 27 crew and talent were asked to go and like it says, inspire some of these young minds. They're a question and answer. We showed them some of our equipment. There's Caroline James explaining what she does on a day-to-day. And here's what some of the students learned from being on camera.
I don't know. I mean, if life wants me to be a journalist, then I'll be a journalist.
I learned, like, the behind works of journalism that I didn't know before.
How she shows us about the camera, to work the camera, and about that LED thing, the tripod, yeah, how to use it. And so.
Is that something that you've taken away from what you've heard from Miss Reshma today?
Yes, Mom. She inspired me.
Well, stay tuned.
That's
now, those
nice.
are the
Reshma
faces.
inspired somebody. She told me when we got back here, she's like, I killed it. Like, the kids really like me. And I was like, can't be right. Like, that's got to be a lie, Reshma. But it turns out
you see all those faces, because we've got to keep a close eye on them. They'll be bringing the news in the very near future.
Good. I hope so. We'd love to see them. Come do an internship with us. Stay tuned. We have more news coming up right after this. In the second half hour of Cayman 27 News, we talk with the team over at the Save Our Youth Foundation about their upcoming Monster Dash. And remember, we want you to WhatsApp us any photos, videos, news tips. We want to know what's happening in your community. Cayman 27's news hotline is 527-2727. It could not be any easier. WhatsApp us. We'll be right back.
We are on a mission to protect people from financial risk that can affect their money. We're Knighthead Annuity and Life Assurance, a Cayman Islands company. It is more important than ever to make sure you have the right financial plan in place to secure your future. So we're on a journey to change an industry that can too often feel complex, confusing, and costly. We're making things simpler by specializing in fixed annuities. An essential product in any portfolio to help you grow and protect your savings by providing guaranteed investment returns. Predictable growth, peace of mind with Knighthead Annuity.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet, any style, carpet or tile, insulation and drywall too. Everything's beautiful, come and see. The Paramount name means quality. It'll be a brand new world under your feet. We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet.
Mom, I'm hungry.
Me too.
Honey, I need to fix the tap in the kitchen today.
Okay. Everybody come with me. I know exactly where we can go.
At Countryside, we have everything you need. Grab home essentials at A.L. Thompson. Convenient banking at Cayman National. Delicious slices from Pizza Hut. Always made fresh sandwiches at Subway. And find the best prices on island at Foster's Food Fair, IGA. Countryside. Everything you need and more.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Cayman 27 News. I'm Kafara Augustin. Tonight we're here with the Save Our Youth Foundation to talk about the Monster Dash that's coming up very soon. Iris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and then introduce the other students here today.
Sure. I'm Iris Stoner. I'm the president of SOY. I've been involved with SOY for more than 10 years. As an organization, we've been around since 2005. These are members of our SOY club. This is Christina.
Hi, Christina.
And Conroy. And Francesca.
Nice. Now, why did you guys decide you want to be part of this? We'll start off with you, Christina.
Well, the reason I decided to enjoy soy is because, like, it seemed like it was very interesting. And when I first joined, I was very shy. And when I wasn't used to people, like, I was very shy. I didn't like to talk. I didn't like to do nothing. But when I started to get used to it, it made me feel like home. I get to talk to people. I get to express my feelings. And yeah.
Great.
I mostly joined for like voluntary stuff for my school, but since I joined, it's not only about volunteer stuff. You get along with everybody. You feel like you knew them for a long time. It feels like home, yeah.
Great.
This is actually my first year. I'm in year 9. And as I joined the our soy club, it's my first year as part, but I already feel at home. Everyone's kind, and they teach me to be a better person.
Great, thank you all. Now, Iris, for people that don't know, tell us a little bit about Soy Foundation. I know it stands for Save Our Youth, but what sort of things do you all do there?
Well, our mandate is a youth empowerment organization. Okay. And so we run different programs and initiatives to achieve that goal. We're in the schools, we do the Soy Clubs, which is all about mentoring and teaching kids to take a positive path. We do a football extravaganza every year. We're in the schools doing we do awards to award kids for trying hard, for effort, not necessarily for being the top, but to give them encouragement to keep going. And we do the Monster Dash, which is our big fundraiser.
And that's coming up. What can you tell us about the Monster Dash?
Well, I think the kids are involved too. Let's see if they can.
The Monster Dash will be held this Saturday.
This Saturday, okay.
Yeah, for students it will be $15, and for adults at the event it will be $25. And online at caymanactive.com, it will be $20.
Now, this is a run, right? Is it a 5K? What kind of run is it?
It's a 5K run walk, yeah.
And is this what year are you guys in with the Monster Dash?
This is our fourth one.
Our fourth one.
The idea is it's a family event. Kids, as little toddlers, come along with their parents. We encourage kids to dress in costume. And the Soy Club will be judging, and there'll be awards for best costume, best family costume. We've had superheroes, we have Ninja Turtles, we've had pumpkins and bananas and all sorts of different costumes. It's a really fun thing to do.
Great. Now I'm going to turn it back to the students. Why would you encourage, if we're talking to our audience now, why would you encourage anyone to come out this weekend to the Monster Dash?
Well, you want to have fun. So adults and their children can have like their together time, their family, friends. You can invite your friends, wear your costumes, we'll judge, and like just have fun.
Yeah. Just support it. Come out if you want to. You don't have to wear costumes, but we highly advise you to wear it. Yeah.
And finally, yes?
I would say to get involved with the community. And it's not like someone's pressuring you to come out, but for me, I would advise people to come out because it's to get involved with your community and to see how fun it is to, even if you're walking with your community or running with your community, it's to show what you're doing, that you love your community.
All right, great. This is a great incentive. And Iris, how long has Soy been around? I believe it's been in the community now for some time now. Just give us a little background on it.
2005 we started.
2005.
We've been building up slowly. Every year we get some more people involved. And I think with the Soy Clubs, we've been trying to get that more into the schools. And so we're more known in the community, I think, as years go by. We're small, but we do a lot.
And what do you think this means for the children that are involved? I spoke briefly to the kids about how it's going for them, but over the years, what sort of growth and improvement have you seen with the children that have come in and out of the program?
Yeah, the nice thing is that we do get students continuing every year until they no longer can, until they graduate. But they learn the importance of volunteering. They learn the importance of keeping a positive attitude, and you could see them grow in the club. So as Christina was saying, she started out being shy, and you could see that in the students who join that they become more confident, and they want to help. They want to be more involved in the community. They suggest community service projects, and doing something like the Monster Dash, it shows from start to finish how they can be involved and how they can make something happen like this.
And finally, we're running out of time, but just a quick wrap up. Monster Dash, time again. Where can they get tickets? Just one more time.
Monster Dash, Saturday, October 20th. We start at 6:15 to register there. You can register at Cayman Active. It's $25 on the day, $20 on Cayman Active, and $15 for students. Under 10 is free.
And costumes are encouraged.
Please, yes.
All right.
Bring costumes.
Thank you all for your time. Well, we have more Cayman 27 news coming up next. Stay with us.
It's fresh
Fresh from the garden, it's fresh.
Hurley's introduces Chef Kits, the newest, easiest way to serve your family home-cooked meals in about 30 minutes. Every Chef Kit includes Hurley's fresh beef, chicken, fish, or veg, and pre-measured spices, sauces, oils, and seasonings. We include everything but the dinner plates. Simply follow the enclosed directions to create home-cooked, gourmet-inspired meals for 2 or 4 people. Hurley's Chef Kits for fresh, easy, speedy meals your family will love.
Welcome back. I'm Kafara Augustin. Google will charge phone makers for access to its Google Play app marketplace following the European Union's ruling earlier this year that it was abusing its dominant position. We have more in this Reuters report.
Phone maker Huawei launched its new flagship handsets in London this week. In the EU, the Chinese firm may face a new bill from Google. There, the US giant is set to charge manufacturers for access to its app marketplace, Google Play. In return, they are freed from any obligation to install Google's other software, such as search. That's after European regulators found that Google had broken antitrust laws. Reuters senior technology correspondent Doug Busvine is in Frankfurt.
Google's show is very much still on the road.
He says both parties may be happy.
Google is essentially replacing a barter arrangement with one that generates license fees. Before, it used to require Android smartphone makers to pre-install apps like Google Search or its Chrome browser. In return, it would get loads of data on the online behaviour of users, and that enabled it to target ads at them, its main source of revenue. Now that implicit exchange of value is becoming an explicit one, say analysts. They add that Google seems to have found a way to ensure that Android, which is installed on 9 in 10 of the world's smartphones, continues to work in its favour.
In July, the European Commission fined Google $5 billion over the antitrust charges. The company is appealing the ruling. Now, the new arrangement would seem to open the door to rivals like Microsoft. They might be able to get their software onto more phones at Google's expense. Such is Google's dominance, however, there is little sign that it's looking scared.
Coming up next, world news and stories from around the region. Stay with us.
Hey, ooh, this have a flavor with a beat. Have a dance, make you move up your feet. Feel the rhythm in the music. Turn all into new into hits and classics. Every meal make you feel like it's a new remix. It's the most delicious in the West Indies. You know what feel ask this grace. Feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace. Delicious and nutritious. Yes. Quality when you taste it. Want affordable? Look for the label. Grace. Feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace. Delicious and nutritious. Yes. Quality when you taste it. Want affordable? Look for the label. Once you feel it, once you see it, once you taste it, it's real. Trust the flavor, the Caribbean grace, it's real. Caribbean grace, it's real.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Show your support by wearing pink on Dress Down, Dress Pink Day, October 26th. Purchase all your pink items, including t-shirts, polo shirts, online at www.lctgbreastcancerawareness.com or visit our LCTG Pink Shop from now until October 25th. Wear pink, take a staff photo, and email it to us at bcawareness@gmail.com or share it with us on our Facebook page. Dress Down, Dress Pink, October 26th. Brought to you by Lions Club of Tropical Gardens.
Welcome back. It's time for a look at what's happening on Wall Street. U.S. stocks fell more than 1% today as the European Commission issued a warning regarding Italy's budget, and concerns mounted over straining relations between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. Reuters' Fred Katsuyama reports.
Wall Street fell Thursday as investors sold risky assets and bought defensive stocks like telecom and utilities. The S&P 500 fell for the 9th time in 11 sessions. The market sank after Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin pulled out of a Saudi investment conference and the EC warned about Italy's budget. Benchmark Investments managing partner Kevin Kelly says the stock markets are close to a bottom.
I think one of the reasons why I don't think there's going to be another leg down is that you're seeing really a topping effect happening in the 10-year Treasury. So we're seeing actually yields are coming down. So that's going to lend a bit of a reprieve to the market.
Textron shares dropped. The aerospace company's quarterly profit fell shy of Wall Street's targets, hurt by falling sales of its turboprop aircraft and flat deliveries of its Cessna business jets. News of Mnuchin's withdrawal from the Saudi conference hurt shares of defense contractors like Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. Alcoa shares gained. Higher aluminum prices helped fuel its profit. Falling tech and material stocks dragged down the major European markets.
In world news, British Prime Minister Theresa May signaled that she would consider extending a so-called transition period for a matter of months after Britain leaves the European Union. It's a move her critics say is a betrayal of Brexit. Reuters' Rosanna Philpott reports.
So we need time, we need much more time.
Not the most promising takeout from a summit that was meant to seal the Brexit deal. The EU's chief negotiator in Brussels on Wednesday, along with all 27 EU members.
Wir wollen gute Beziehungen zu Großbritannien.
All saying the same thing. We want to get a Brexit deal.
That could easily take more than 2 years. And
now it seems Britain could get a one-year extension to its current transition period. During that time, the UK would keep EU rules and so avoid border problems with Ireland, the current major sticking point. But this sort of extra time is likely to be very unpopular with hardline Brexiteers back home. After talks stalled earlier this week over the issue of the Irish border, Theresa May was determined to stress an accord is still on the cards.
There is still the question of the Northern Irish backstop, but I believe everybody around the table wants to get a deal. By working intensively and closely, we can achieve that deal. I believe a deal is achievable, and now is the time to make it happen.
The British Prime Minister was given a 15-minute slot to address the leaders before they all sat down to dinner without her. It was far from the decisive progress the 27 had wanted. They agreed to call off, for now at least, a planned November summit to sign a deal. Instead, May gets some more weeks to resolve her political woes in Britain. Most EU leaders believe that's where the real obstacles lie.
The United States and the United Kingdom have pulled out of an investment conference in Saudi Arabia. This amid allegations that country was responsible for the killing of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Mr. Khashoggi has not been seen since he entered the Saudi consulate in Istanbul at the beginning of October. Turkish officials allege he was murdered. Saudi Arabia denies the killing and now has allowed investigators inside that consulate. And in regional news, the U.S.-Mexico border is again the focus of President Trump's attentions. He has threatened to use military force to completely close the border. The warning was issued on Twitter today and comes as more than 3,000 migrants from El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala move north and closer to the U.S. border. President Trump has threatened to pull all aid payments to the three countries if the migrant group is not stopped.
One of the biggest pioneers of women's football in Mexico has been killed. Maribela Ibarra was the founder of the first pro-women's football team in Mexico. Her body was found on Monday, wrapped in plastic, sheeting, and showed signs of torture. Her body was found in a beach resort sort of south of the border of Tijuana. Her family says she was kidnapped.
We'll have another check on the forecast in just 2 minutes. Stick around.
We're not just the most reliable energy service in the Caribbean. Whether it's for your entertainment, lighting a path to your future, or making sure that you and your family are secure. We're there for you when it matters most. Your safety and our reliability are our top priority. We are committed to remaining the #1 utility service in the Caribbean. We are CUC.
Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited are professional, independent insurance brokers established in 1988. We are a wholly Caymanian-owned insurance broker with a wealth of knowledge in the local and international insurance market. Our professional team service clients with a range of insurance products, including motor, home, health, contractors, marine, and business insurance, among others. Contact us at 949-0579 or email us at service@bogleins.com.
And ladies and gentlemen, take a look. Want to go to the beach, but the beach has disappeared on a certain section over at 7 Mile Beach. A couple of visitors wondering just how they're going to get down to the sand there from the ramp over at Plantation Village. These people, they got in, though. They just did their best. Anyway, we're out here at the weather wall right now. We're tracking what we've got going on. Got a lot of mess down in the South American continent right there. A lot of rain showers, turbulence, that type of stuff. But in our neck of the woods, we just have a passing tropical wave through the region. It's bringing with it a little bit of shower opportunities. I had my umbrella on me, so I didn't get wet. I had my windshield wipers going back and forth, just cleaning the windshield off. Lovely day out there. A lot of sunshine, too. Anyway, let's take a look at our temperatures right now. I can't wait to get to that part of the newscast for you. 86 in Georgetown. Let's see what we've got on the rest of the island. It looks like 86 from tip to tip there. Not a big island. Not a lot of room for fluctuations there. Not a lot of high points. Let's check out the sister islands, though. They've got the brackets 100 and something feet tall over there, but hey, they're the same temperature as us right now. Wouldn't you know it, guys? Let's take a trip around the region right there and see some of the temperatures. 69 yesterday in Costa Rica. They've rebounded nicely. Mid-70s today. Our region over here, a lot of 80s for the destinations up there. Our neighbors in Honduras, Mexico, and Cuba as well. And the Eastern Caribbean, going to get out of the way there. They've got 80s. In Trinidad and up in St. Kitts, 81. Paramaribo, 84 degrees down there as well. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. What can we expect? Well, it's going to be gusty, guys. You might need a little glue, put an additional glue or staple in to hold down the toupee in the gusty weather, if that's your thing. We're going to have 4 to 6 foot seas out there for the next 4 or 5 days right there. Probably the west side of the island will give you a little bit of shelter. Might be nice enough to go boating. I've got my fingers crossed this weekend I can get my engine revved up. Anyway, a weather pick of the day to end it all with. It's Reshma Shot. Finally makes the cut, ladies and gentlemen. Give her a round of applause. Let the naysayers feast on that. Jordan Armanese is next.
Sometimes having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance. Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. We're good for you.
This have a flavor with a beat. Have a dance, make you move up your feet. Feel the rhythm in the music. Turn all into new into it's and classics. Every meal make you feel like it's a new remix. It's the most delicious in the West Indies. You know what feel ask this grace. Feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace. Delicious and nutritious. Yes. Quality when you taste it. Want affordable? Look for the label. Grace. Feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace. delicious and nutritious. Quality when you taste it. Once you feel it, once you see it, once you taste it, it's real. Trust the flavor, the Caribbean grace, it's real. Caribbean grace, it's real.
Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa presents Beautiful You every second and last Thursday of the month. The beauty experts will draw from experience and share tips for personal beauty care, how to have healthy hair and glowing skin, flawless makeup application, and the latest trends and style tips. Watch Cayman 27 every second and last Thursday of the month for Beautiful You. Brought to you by Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa.
All right, welcome back. We start on the pitch where Jamaica's Reggae Girls made history Wednesday, becoming the first Caribbean nation to qualify for the Women's World Cup. Now, Jamaica defeated Panama 4-2 on penalties Wednesday after an extra time 2-2 draw in the match for third place at the CONCACAF Women's Championship, the region's qualifying tournament, of course, for France's 2019 Women's World Cup. Here is a look at the Reggae Girls tournament. 3 wins, 2 losses, an opening round loss to Canada, then back-to-back wins over Costa Rica and Cuba, then a loss to the United States before the aforementioned penalty win yesterday versus Panama. They received just 2 yellow cards. They were third in the tournament for assists, while the team's top scorer, Jody Brown, was named top young player of the tournament. Canada and the United States were the other 2 nations to qualify when the Americas beat Canada 2-0 in the finals last night. The Women's World Cup goes June 7th to July 19th, 2019 in France. All right, switching gears, former USA Gymnastics president Steve Penny was arrested Wednesday after a Texas grand jury indicted him, alleging he tampered with evidence in the sexual assault investigation of now imprisoned gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar. In a statement issued Wednesday, the Walker County District Attorney's Office in Huntsville, Texas said Penny was arrested by a fugitive task force in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, as he awaits extradition to Texas. Penny resigned under pressure in March 2017. The indictment alleges Penny ordered the removal of documents from the Caroli Ranch, a longtime training ground near Huntsville, for the country's elite gymnasts relating to Nassar's activities there. To the National Football League, where Thursday night football features 2 teams fighting to right the course after a rough start to the 2018 NFL season. The 2-4 Denver Broncos travel to Scottsdale to take on the 1-5 Arizona Cardinals. After opening the season 2-0, the Broncos carrying a 4-game losing streak. Now, the team features the 2 worst run defense in the league. Let's start with Denver. After signing a lucrative 2-year, $25 million contract in the offseason, quarterback Case Keenum has struggled, throwing for just 1,687 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 8 picks, as well as 4 fumbles. For the Cardinals, my man, DJ, running back David Johnson, he struggled this year. He signed a big deal, 3 years, $30 million in the offseason. He hasn't exactly lit it up on the scoreboard, mostly because Cardinals coaches seem to have phased him out of the receiving role where he was so effective in 2016. He caught 8 balls and rushed for 1,240 yards and 20 touchdowns. This year's his routes in the slot are way down from the 20% that he had in 2016. He's down to 3.5. Overall, Johnson is on pace for a putrid 360 yards catching, and scroll back down, 296 yards rushing. All right, let's go to the Cayman 27 NFL Pick'ems Challenge. Tied for first, Night Runner and Whopper at 50 points. Tied for third, still pumped that Chuck Norris is playing the Pick'ems Challenge. Walker, Texas Ranger, and It Ain't Shinty, 48 points. Sports Guy, 11th. Most importantly, beating Kevin Rouse, who's 15th. Kafar, Kevin, back to you.
Only because I forgot to put in my picks for the last 2 weeks. Only because. Actually, I got to do that right now before that game starts. Thanks for watching. That's our show for tonight. Have a great night. Go download that 5-in-1 Hurley's Media app.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Cayman Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's complete.